entrance video now because I forgot how to do it for a second. Oh! Good morning, everyone. Matthew, tell them how you are.
And who you be with?
Who you be with?
I'm pretty good. You know, cats were bastards last night, so
What?
that was always fun. But
You are lying about your adorable furry babies. How dare you?
But yes, other than that, I'm doing all right.
Did you guys do anything fun last night?
What did we do? Danny was out doing stuff with her various family members pretty much all day. So,
oh dang! What'd you do? We didn't see you on Minecraft at all yesterday.
I was painting. Spare.
You were super motivated to do that yesterday.
I had to get it off my plate. I think
Did you get done?
Probably some touch ups, but
Shaggy.
But the bulk of it is done. So glad you could pop in for a little bit.
Spike. Yeah, thanks for joining us for any amount of time. We're just happy to see you guys. I'm glad that
your day.
Yeah, I'm glad that you got some stuff done you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll probably poke it a little bit today, try and wrap it up. So
nice. So, I didn't have anything on. One thing we need to do is come up with our schedule, because I like a schedule, but I had a weird kind of night of sleep, and one thing that popped in my head while I tried to figure out sleeping, crack the nut of that, is that I had is that I have been wanting to run a Birthright game.
Okay.
Birthright is a second edition D&D setting that I have a great deal of affection for. It's kind of a Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones, mixed with a little bit of Arthurian, but also mixed with a heavy dose of Highlander. Oh. The biggest thing is like the gods had a big fight, and they called their mortal followers to the battlefield because this was the end times war, and wherever the gods died and spilt their energy, anyone who was bathed in it basically became like a Highlander. They got all these special abilities, but every time they killed someone else, with those abilities, they took their power. Also in this world, there is like a Gorgon, but there's only one Gorgon, and he's called the Gorgon. There's one dragon. It's called the Dragon. So you have these like immensely powerful, like absolutely terrifying beings. And you play as one member of your group. You kind of get together and vote at the beginning. Oh shit! Plus actor.
Hey. Plus actor. Yep.
You get together and you kind of decide who's going to be king. And then everybody else assumes a role within the kingdom. And somebody takes on the role of, can take on the role of like head of the clergy, or like the last game that we played for a couple years. My friend Dewey and I were, and I quote, legitimate businessmen. We were basically running a thieves guild. And we had beef with another one of the players who was the head of the church because they were trying to eliminate crime. So we were kind of all at each other's throats in the part of the game that was more of an overview, because that's the thing with Birthright is there's a part of the game where you like get together as a group of adventurers and you go on adventure, but you only do this once per year. The other part of the game year is like all the moving and shaking you're doing both in front of the public and behind the scenes, as well as like dealing with foreign powers and things like that. And it's a lot of rolling dice and consulting charts, but it's a lot of fun. So as I was trying to wrap my head around, wanting to do this, because I found some 5th edition adaptations of it, but because of my feelings right now for WotC as a whole, and their release of like how we all won, which is
Totally. That's
exactly
what happened, yeah.
whoever wrote that, this should stop. I don't want it in that setting, and I also don't want to do it in the classic, dark fantasy that is Birthright. This is the old school Birthright cover of the box set.
Ooh.
It's a great setting. I actually don't know why it didn't catch on. I absolutely adored it. So it's very. I guess there's a lot of Lord of the Rings kind of influence it, but that's D&D. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I want to take it and I want to potentially utilize a game called Reign, which is a game of lords and leaders, which is apparently very good at doing like the stuff you do in Birthright when you're not doing your adventure. So I'm very interested in that. But I was like, well, how do we do the actual, like, let's get together an adventure. Let's do adventures. And I decided that maybe, just maybe, we would use Dungeon World.
Okay.
I'm unfamiliar with this.
Dungeon World is the Powered by the Apocalypse fantasy game.
Okay, all right.
I didn't vote for you. It's a little bit more crunchy than most other Powered by the Apocalypse World games. But you're playing an archetype, which I like. But it's the same principles of any PBTA game. It's just you do have like some hit points and things like that, which is cool. The biggest thing is the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I kind of don't want to just run a fantasy game. I run a bunch of fantasy games now. So my idea, my pitch, I did say crunchy. My pitch is to run this more, and of course needing then to do some tweaking, which we all love to do. Is to run it more as a Kirby 4th World.
Oh.
I do think Kirby had some amazing stuff going on when he would. Well, I think Kirby's amazing to begin with.
Yeah,
He was writing things like Tales of Asgard, but also I love the 4th World stuff. So I was kind of thinking about. We talked a little bit this on our walk yesterday. I love the idea of Numenera. And I think I would love Numenera if someone else ran it, but I don't want to run Numenera. Yeah, it's too much. It's a very, 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 very complex game. Kudos to anyone who loves Monty Cook. I like Monty Cook, but that shit is too much for this mind. So I kind of have this loose idea. And where I wanted to start today is on the move. Of course, I'm on the move. I'm moving my legs right now. because they're always moving, always judging. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. First of all, coming up with a different name than Birthright. But what's the hook? What I mean, let's do a campaign planner. The hook would be much like the more feudal game of 2E D&D Birthright. Oh, okay. That's like
Death Wrong. Oh my gosh. That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
Death.
Death Wrong sounds a lot less Kirby than it does Leafield.
Yeah, it's a great name though.
Yeah.
Death Wrong would
Feudal
have
game
a
in
giant
principle.
croissant on the side of his head and too many pouches.
Yeah.
With
At least like
Kirby.
2 giant guns that had like barrels that were just big, large tubes of some vague sort.
But they don't maintain their own, perspective.
Yeah. Constantly fluid.
At the hockey game, Shaggy.
Enjoy this hockey game, Shaggy. Bye. Okay.
So
yeah, that's kind of our campaign hook. That's the elevator pitch.
Yes. Okay, so I think the first thing to establish is, are the players playing gods or new gods or something in that realm, or are they just people with maybe some abilities?
So I want to use the same kind of idea as Birthright. The players would be playing like principal powers.
Okay.
Like the one player would have to be the king or the high father or whatever it would be. We'd have to come up with some new terms for that.
Sure.
Someone else would be in charge of like, some type of religious thing, or we would have to come up with some concepts. It would all be about concepts. That way we have like the adventure is like, so I would do this in seasons-esque as well. So the adventure would probably be like a 3-part adventure, 3-session adventure. And then the fourth part would be like what happens afterwards for the rest of that time period.
Okay.
Like what happens in the kingdom?
So, yeah, I mean, I guess if you're in this world and you're going for something like Birthright, where there came a time when the old gods died, and everybody got powers from that, if all of a sudden a new god shows up and dies, and they're all scrambling to like claim their place there's a new player essentially in the mix here, trying to get these powers and claim their place in the power structure.
So okay. So that would be wrong screen. Gotta love that. Make this a little bit bigger.
So would like the players essentially be kind of like almost like the small council in Game of Thrones kind of a deal with
that's what I was saying a little bit before you popped on. Birthright was pre-Game of Thrones, but it has a very Game of Thrones kind of feel to it in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Very cool.
I don't want to call them gods either. How about we just call them powers?
Yeah.
Until we figure out a different word. Or I think in Birthright they might call them blooded.
Yeah, I mean, if you're calling it Birthright and you have blooded, that's you're heading down a road.
Yeah.
Well, I think that game.
There's false deniability so far, but
I think I want to know now when Birthright actually was published. Let's see. It's like I said, it's a second edition
Imbued.
setting.
That's good.
Yeah, the imbued.
I like that.
I mean, it was a TSR game, so it wasn't even a Wizards didn't have their fingers in it. 1995.
Okay.
So, damn, make me feel real old. That's an old ass game.
Blooded.
Imbued.
It's the birthright for the blood. Sounds like getting Hackoween. Oh, Hack-O-Lantern territory. If you ever saw that one, where the grandfather is this old Satanist and stuff, and Charlie's dad from It's Always Sunny is playing a teenager, and he's like at least 35. But there's this wonderful. He's like, you've entered the ceremony of the blood, and it's just I don't know, it's just hammy and wonderful. Makes me think of that a little bit.
Yeah, because there's definitely like a Highlander aesthetic to Birthright. That's
really cool. Highlanders.
So
that's one reason like you want to go out and
quest
is because the big monsters as well, they're just blooded who the blood they received was from like evil gods.
That's really cool.
So it changed them.
So
removes religious and eugenics. Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea, Mitch. Although I kind of now want to have like instead of a religion, science should be like the religion. So like instead of the cleric being focused on taking power from like a deity, they're focused on taking power from like an equation, kind of like the anti-life equation.
Oh.
So we're gonna put our brainstorming on here and start the cleric I can't spell doesn't take powers from a god but from mathematical equations.
Called like the eternity theorem or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of Kirby-esque or something. I don't know. Yeah. Like that's cool though. Like they're just more. Well, would they be like mad scientisty kind of in a way, like sitting there like scribbling out equations on things and.
Like I kind of think of like Metron or even like Maximus the Mad a little bit from Inhumans.
So more, it's science as a religion.
Yeah.
There's a Neil
Stevens. Or like Warhammer 40K.
That's what I was kind of going at first. Yeah. The Adept.
There's a Neil Stevenson book called I'm gonna blank on the name of it. Anyway,
even like the Teilaxu from Dune.
But it instead of like you've got all your people with like the hard skills, like the mechanical skills and stuff, and they like build shit and do stuff and farm and all that. But if you want to become like a mathematician, you essentially become a monk. Like you go into this cloister and you learn math for 15 years.
Yeah.
And then either you stay in the cloister and keep doing math, or some of them go out into the world and do math for other people. But it's math as religion.
That's cool. That's really cool. My son's in the back playing Lego.
Nice.
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'll stop this train. One second. Stop
ultimate power and shit. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense.
I like that too, because like if you've got something where you're a scientist,
you don't want to make me
or a researcher or whatever, and then
or you want to be blown up.
You
want to be blown up into
learn something new about the universe, and now all of a sudden, like everything you thought you knew is like disproven now? Like, oh, here's some new evidence. Now none of the stuff that you believe in makes sense. Do you lose your powers?
Oh, I haven't seen those. What
They're
are
pretty awesome. I think then, I mean, we're going to just change this to Kirby. But rather than having like, so if we're going to do a Kirby, let's do Kirby. So rather than having like the kingdoms, let's macro it out into like realms, like worlds and things like that. It's dangerous to go alone. Buy more sets.
Yeah, I just got the 3-in-1 medieval one and the 3-in-1 Viking set. I'm very excited to put those together.
I will make a suggestion. If you're going to do that, go to eBay and look up building blocks, because you can find Lego knockoffs, and they're about a quarter of the cost.
I've also gotten to that world too, and it's awesome. I've gotten this like just knockoff Lego like jungle set that it comes with like a bridge and this awesome base plate and all these. There's crazy awesome different base plates out there that are just so neat. And yeah,
I just got Cassandra Starry Night. It just came in the mail yesterday.
Oh, that's really cool.
So and there's a kit coming next week that is like a frame with lighting behind it, so it'll actually glow from behind.
Oh, yeah, cool. That's really cool.
That's our favorite painting. So,
that's a good one.
So our next was rather than kingdoms and lands, rather than kingdom and lads, our landscape is made up of galaxies and worlds. So, which brings me to another thing maybe we need to think about. So rather than using rain, which is definitely more in the traditional sense of spheres is better. Yes. Spheres. I like that a lot, Mitch. I'm going to change that. I'm not super familiar with Big O. Oh, if you mean Legos, yeah, then Big O was like an anime where like basically Bruce Wayne had a giant robot.
Yeah, it's Batman with mechs, and it's great.
I think I remember watching that sometime on Adult Swim.
Yep. It was actually co-produced with Cartoon Network.
Really?
Yeah. But yes, there's like basically this entire city, and everybody, like at some point in the past, this thing happened, and everybody forgot what had come before. And then they were kind of rebuilding their lives, within this new structure. It was pretty bizarre. But yes, the cities were in domes.
Dad, do you need a snack?
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to help, Dad. Come on. All right, so there's also a game that's similar. It's called Burning Empires, but I think it's based on the Burning Wheel series.
Okay.
But it's also like this massive, like here's the overview of things. I haven't read it yet, but I mean it's another thing where I can't decide if this would work or if I want to stick with something like Rain, but I need to we need to figure out how to implement some of these things. So yeah, so we've got options there, which is interesting to me. Apparently worms. I don't like this with the worms.
Put some worms in some spots.
Also, another game that may work, which is the system's very easy. Oh, where is it? I know I have it. This basic role play. Here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a little bit so I can grab it. I know, like I said, I purchased it for, it was 99 cents the other day, and I have the hard book of it, but I did not currently have the PDF, so I wanted to grab that. And Chaosium has been running a bunch of sales. But basic roleplay might also be a good system to use because it's just percentages. All you ever do are rolling percentage dice. You have a percentage skill in something, and then that skill translates to a percentage. Let me go to drive through here. I'm going to log in. Well, just log in. Why don't you just let me log in? Go to my library, which is disgusting to look at because it's so much. I have 738 unreviewed titles. 207 unread inbox notices. Most of them from people I bought one product from, and then they were like, "Hey, I'm running a sale today. Look at all these other things you could buy for me," and I'm like, "But I don't want to." Basic role playing. Okay, we're going to put this in the Dropbox. Colin, did you get a chance to look at We Deal in Lead then?
A little bit. Just
what'd you think?
Looks really good. Looks really good. It has a very just setting wise, a really Dark Tower vibe to it that I'm super into, and just the Western setting in general is something I've been really wanting to dive into with like role playing games a little more. Like the one other thing I really know of, God, what is it? Hold on, let me look this up. I might have it on my phone still. But it's another Western setting where I think it's got like a little bit of a horror bent to it.
Doomtown, which is based on that's a card game based on. I can't think of the name of the setting. It's like a Weird West type setting.
It might be that because there's a. Does it have like a poker playing element?
Yeah.
That could be it then. Yeah. Because all right. But yeah, like that's the other one I know of, and the poker part of that seems kind of wonky. So this seems a little more like down the avenue of like what I'd like to do. But yeah, look, I'm very interested in it.
Oh, I already had it in here because, derp. I just had it in a file that I named Chaosium Basic Role Playing rather than just calling it Basic Role Playing. So now I've re-downloaded it into my Dropbox, which makes me super happy.
Yeah, Deadlands. That's it.
Deadlands, yeah. Deadlands is solid. We used to play the card game all the time. I think it was called. Like I said, I think it was called Doomtown.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that part of it. Yeah.
So here's the basic role-playing system. This is the system that they run. You can run Call of Cthulhu off of, as well as Pendragon, and this is what they use for all the Chaosium games. But as you can see, they've, with their awesome Vitruvian Man cover, it's like, hey, you can use this system to basically run anything, and it's very much true. It's literally a system where you just use a set of. Yeah, I used to have this Stormbringer game, but I gave it to someone who was an even more insane Stormbringer fan than I am. So, where are you at? Kind of wanted to show you what here it is. So you have your rolls and you have hit points. And in games like Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu, you have like insanity as well. But this is like these are your stats. And your stats, you get a bonus, and then like you start off with percentages. So you're just rolling percentage dice all the time. It's all you're rolling, and it's like you need under or over this amount. So it's a very simple system to run. I don't know if it would be as narrative driven as the Power by the Apocalypse stuff. That's kind of where I'm a little torn on it. Like, I like this system a lot. Play a lot of Call of Cthulhu. Played a lot of Pendragon, actually. But I'm not sure if this would be as solid as just using, PBTA Dungeon World, because we're all used to, hey, you have a playbook. You roll 2 6-sided dice. It's a successive consequence, or it's a failure. So I think I'm leaning more towards Dungeon World, but we can get back to that at some point. Let's go back to what we've got here. Mm-hmm. Plus, I want to change this from the cleric to something else. I'd like to change the names as well. Give them some type of more Kirby-esque. Let me go back to. So yeah, there's the playbooks here are really simple. It's like much like Apocalypse World. You're like, it's the bard, the cleric, the druid, the fighter, the paladin, the ranger, thief, the wizard. So you are definitely playing archetypes, which I kind of like. So we have the cleric. What else are we thinking here? Hey, guys, calm down. Don't talk over each other.
Are you thinking to stick within sort of the D&D like archetypes, or are you just going?
Well, not necessarily. I'm very open with this. Like I said, this is one of those cases where I just had a very, very loose idea.
Mm-hmm. Or is it more? Yeah, do you more want to go with like your common like god archetypes from across the various pantheons?
I'm even less inclined to go with like deity pantheon archetypes, and Mish for classes.
Be like
more
the
thinking
engineer,
of like yeah, like that. Yeah, I mean, I am going more for, like I said, I do want more of a Kirby vibe, but we do need to have one that's like, the godhead more or less.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like the cleric should be the engineer.
Yeah, because like I feel like that would work, especially the way Kirby marries those kind of two aesthetics together, like fantasy with like the kind of more sci-fi stuff. I feel like an engineer would be in like a New Gods world would be the guy who takes up the cleric role. Yeah.
Hi,
What
Dad.
else? Mm.
Hey, Becky. What kind of jokes you got?
It's a fair question.
Yeah, geez, what else would you? I mean, those roles. I mean, there's a ruler, or rulers, if you're going with that birthright stuff. Um, um,
I think that's more of a title.
okay.
The speaker.
And I'm not married to the speaker. I was like,
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a way to mix like all father and high father together, and I was like, all high father, which could mean a lot of different things.
Yes. Hmm.
Would it be really lame to call the speaker the Deus Machina? Helix Emissary. That's really, I like that. That's really good, Mitch.
That sounds like a Kirby thing.
Yeah. I like the Machina part, but I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Maybe we change it from engineer to the Machina.
Or Machina or Mechanicus, Adeptus, or something like that. Sort of around there a little bit.
GW will come for us.
They will. They've got a whole army on retainer. Mechanic, Machina.
Oh.
Back off, Alex Garland. I don't want any of your heat. Not to borrow too heavily from current politics, but
yeah,
I think that might be fun.
That is cool. You got a cleric, you got your king.
Yeah, I'm digging. If you're going like that for that kind of royal structure, I guess there's.
Who would be your your marshal of law or whatever as it was?
Yeah, depending on how you want to break it up, you'd have like a general.
That could be a bunch of different things. Yeah,
military commander or
So let's That would be rolls. So this would be classes.
Ah.
Okay.
So then it's coming up then with the other roles then we would need to do.
Okay.
I don't think I want to use just Medicus though, because I think it's one of those things where cleric can be so many more things than just a walking med dispenser. Just depends on your style of play and the build you want to take. So I want to kind of stay away from that. I like the idea, but I want to stay away from it. So let's write down the rules as they are in the book.
Yeah.
That way, maybe it'll give us.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
The ranger, bard, druid, the wizard. Confused with the wizard. The fighter, the paladin. I forgot those two.
Thief, I think, is in there.
Yeah. Also, I'm trying to keep in mind, I always feel like the Eternals get short shift when people think of like some Kirby stuff. I think the Eternals fall into that category really well. Okay, I think we're good. So those are our classes. So let's boil down to what do these things mean?
Yeah.
What do we think? Like fighter, I think is pretty easy. Front line, melee. That's what I think of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ranger, I always think of like you're doing range and like, I don't know, maybe sending out like other minions of your own to do agents or something like that to do your bidding as well a little bit.
So kind of when I think of it, this is what I think of.
Yeah.
Or thank you, Ari Salvatore. 2 weapons.
2 weapons. Oh yeah. Good old Drizzt. You want to reach
Well
out?
said,
Help
Super
some.
Spike. Nature. Deaconism's final form. Thief, I think, is a little actually hard for me to define.
Smuggler.
Yeah, because I mean smuggler, but you also have like Fafford and the Grey Mouse are technically thieves. Conan is a thief.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he is. He is a thief.
I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of like trying to figure out that to me is like one that's so big that I have a hard time pinning down.
A brigand.
There are fringes of the sphere, and they have to cobble together. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I like this idea. How about we call the ranger the wanderer? He wanders around. But I like what Mitch is pitching there. Yes, thank you, Super Spike. You make me feel less old when you know what I'm talking about. Bard, I mean, I love the word scald a lot, but I kind of worry that scald pins somebody into just like, oh, I just tell stories. But I think of bard as being like painter. You can use your art in any way.
Yeah, Super Spec. I was thinking something along those lines, you know, or the, I don't know.
I thought like the influencer, but then again, it's like, oh, that's such a stupid term these days. So it's like, never mind, throw it out.
And that seems like more of a role anyway.
Yeah. Because immediately, like when I think bard, I'm thinking more of like the roles they could play. I'm like, oh well, someone like.
What about the designer?
Political.
It's not bad, but it does feel a little more.
It's not bad. It's just not.
It feels a little narrower, I guess.
The virtuoso.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Ooh, I like that, Mitch.
Oh.
Like Soldier with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Did you know it was supposed to take place in
Blade Runner?
Yeah, as part of Blade Runner.
Yeah, that's awesome. In my mind, that is canon.
We're gonna call the fighter the Forged. I really like that, Mitch.
Many in that case.
Because it makes you think of OMAC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're just gonna put think OMAC to begin with.
And for the bard, the maker or the originator, or are those too big?
The Wellspring?
With the artisan?
Yeah.
I kind of like the artisan now that you said that, because I feel like it doesn't come off as high and like I was going, I think, too abstract.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that could be both humble and lofty at the same time. Oh,
Yeah, I think
does sound too loud?
No. I think he was talking about the virtuoso.
Oh, okay.
I agree, though, Super Spike. I think we were reaching for the high shelf when we should have been just looking eye level.
The Weaver. Oh,
Ooh, Weaver's good
dr-
too.
the Dream Weaver. I don't know.
Plus actor. I think the Wizard might be the Weaver.
Ooh,
I like the Weaver a lot.
Mm,
What do you guys think? The Weaver for the Wizard?
hmm.
They're weaving magic. They're pulling energy together and forming it into spells.
I do like it.
The Wise.
Wizen's good. Yeah, something that hits more on like the intelligence of the character of the class.
Tim the Enchanter.
There's someone who call me Tim.
The Adept.
Adept's good.
The Wunderkind. The Marvel.
Mm.
Magic would work the same as it works in most cases. It's just someone who is taking arcane knowledge and then formulating it into actual components to use for spells. I believe that's how it works in Dungeon World, which is I'm more and more leaning towards. Let's see what it says about the Wizard. Dungeon World has rules, not the laws of men or the rule of some petty tyrant. Bigger, better rules. You drop something, it falls. You can't make something out of nothing. The dead stay dead, right? Oh, the things we tell ourselves to feel better about the long, dark nights. You spent so long poring over those tomes of yours, conducting experiments that nearly drove you mad and casting summonings that endangered your very soul. For what? Well, for power. What else is there? Not just the power of king or country, but the power to boil a man's blood in his veins, to calm the thunder of the sky and a churn of the rolling earth, to shrug off the rules the world holds so dear. Let them cast their sidelong glances. Let them call you warlock or diabolist. Who among them can hurl fireballs from their eyes? Yeah, didn't think so. I love that write-up a lot.
What about
The Arcanum's good as well.
I was gonna say the liturgist or liturgist.
The Scholar?
Scholar's nice.
Scholar's good. I like the Wellspring just because I said it. But I also like the Source. But I feel like I kind of want to stay away from just straight stealing from Kirby.
Yeah.
What did you say, Colin? You said something. I like so far the Arcanum is my top choice.
The liturgist, or I don't know how you pronounce it. Liturgist, like someone who is like a reader of the liturgy, you know, like that kind of ties into like the mystical aspects a little bit, but also like I'm this book learning fool and things. I don't know. That might be a little too snooty.
Liturgies. I like it. I'm wondering if it's going to be one of those things where everyone can't say it.
Yeah, because I can't even say it. So there you go.
Let's go with the Arcanum.
What about the root?
But I want to put the liturgist as a role.
Okay.
That might serve better as a role.
Yeah. Because that's like you're, Pope or something.
Yeah. Your minister of information or something, as it were. Yeah.
Like the Ohio State University. The glass cannon, yes. I think the keeper of knowledge and lore, I kind of look at this as the person who controls like ancient tomes. That's your role. So you can deny people access.
Yeah.
Like, let's say another player who's playing the Helix Emissary comes to you and says, I need this tome. You can say, nope, you are not allowed to touch that. That is beyond your scope.
We keep these locked in the vault.
Yes. That's the same thing like when I think about the Machina. I kind of want to just call it the Machina. Is there needs to be a role too that kind of fits that clergy role, which would be something akin to like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time focusing today. All right, let's talk about the druid. Or actually, let's talk about any of these. We don't have.
The druid. I was thinking the ecologist.
Ooh, I like that.
Or the preserve.
The preserver. I like the preserver as a role.
Okay. The ecologist is pretty specific, I guess. But
Because the preserver as a role could mean a lot of different things.
yes.
It could mean like, if let's say the forge takes the role as a preserver, it could be like I keep the borders.
Ooh.
But like if the druid took that role as the preserver, it's like I keep the land safe.
Like
that's kind of the thing about
land.
the roles is when you take the roles, like the roles have to be able to adjust to who the person who took the role is. Oh, I like the unyielding. Okay, so let's go back to druid. We had a couple there that I kind of want to go back and explore again.
Yeah.
I like the ecologist a lot because it's got enough it's got enough science to it. It makes me kind of think of that. But I do wonder, like Matt said, is it too narrow cast?
It feels like it kind of, I guess, funnels you down a path a little bit, but
let's see if there's any cool synonyms for ecologist. Naturalist, preservationist, eagle freak, greenie, tree hugger, cheesethesaurus.com.
Yeah.
You fucking hating out there.
Naturalist is good.
I kind of like naturalist.
I feel like that takes it less away from like the specifically, like the ecologist seems very more science oriented, while this has a dabble in that, and then like, the natural world, and you can be like free flowing and all that funness.
Like, hey man,
check out my animals, brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that's
bioarcanist. That is
that's interesting.
I mean, that is Kirby.
That yeah. It
Yeah,
also feels like a little H.R. Giger to me as well. I like that. I don't know why I'm getting all sorts of fun ideas.
Getting all sorts of feels about this.
Bioarcanist. I think you nailed it with that one, Mitch.
Yeah.
That rules.
Also, I think the unyielding is great.
Yeah. Thief the Moonlighter.
Ooh, it's interesting. I like that, Spike.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the same reaction, Matt. I kind of like the Moonlighter a lot. Mine's big on the misplaced. I think Moonlighter's has got my vote currently.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how you want to. Yeah. It's hard to define the role of the thief.
Ooh, Purloiner is really good.
Defalcator. Yeah, that's a good one.
The freebooter?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
because I feel like the freebooter is less like the thief is like it's bad.
Yeah, it doesn't have the best.
Yeah. It does. It has those connotations.
I
To
like
it,
that
for
the
sure.
freebooter doesn't, you know.
You could be a scoundrel freebooter or like a really decent guy who's a freebooter. I feel like
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So let's I feel like we're good here. We've at least got titles kind of.
Yeah.
We can a good old pilfer. Well said.
Moonlighter could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. What would the Moonlighter do then? Because I do really like that.
In my mind, that would be like a smuggler or someone like that. Someone who
Would
runs
it be like
something.
the head of a thieves guild, maybe?
Or
like a guild head? But in like we need to think of a better way for a Kirby in a Kirby fashion.
Thanks for stopping by, Mitch.
Mitch.
yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for
It was
all
awesome.
your awesome suggestions, man. They rocked. Oh man.
So let's pull up the roles in Birthright.
Yeah.
Let's see what Birthright has to say about roles.
Yeah, and I'm also I don't know if either of you ever read Wade and Kitson's Empire. But
I did read Empire, yeah.
That's got some similar, like it's kind of a, okay.
It's like if Doom won.
Yeah, Dr. Doom took over. He put a bunch of other supervillains into his cabinet, so, and now that he's won, he doesn't really know what to do with himself.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, that's got, the Minister of Execution, the Minister of Discipline, Espionage, War,
Yeah.
Information, Domestic Advisor.
Yeah, I was thinking like kind of along those lines too a little bit in my head when like we first were like, okay, like what would it hits those classic like archetypes.
So like in Birthright, that's the spider.
Okay.
And there's only one of them. They're just fucking terrifying. Oh, I do not always enjoy how these old books are laid out because they're like, I like the campaign. Yeah, tell me about like how we do this.
Oh no.
Bloodlines.
Oh,
Regency, maybe?
No.
The other thing I like about using like a Power by the Apocalypse is you don't have to worry about race.
Yeah.
It's like these are just the races. I mean, like you just say, "Oh, I'm this race," and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I will want to kind of steal from this because I like this idea of tainted bloodlines, minor bloodlines, major bloodlines, right? True bloodlines, like being able to say, like, this came from the, my energy comes from, I don't know. I don't know how
I
to
could
quite
trace
figure
my
that out.
lineage back so many whatever to this wellspring of power or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm thinking of a way to abstract that.
No, Killian. I didn't poop.
Not yet.
Thanks for asking.
It will happen.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm got enough coffee in here.
Okay, here we go. We're starting.
7-year-olds.
Yeah, and that's another way, like, you can take over like someone's country as usurpation by blood theft. You kill them and you take their blood, and you now are.
Wait, explain that.
So it's it's like Highlander.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
So like kill you, I take your power, then like I now rule your area.
I like that.
So let's see. I want to know what these other things were.
Oh, and that could be a good idea for. I mean, it'd be kind of, I guess, more in line with the kind of a trope of it, but like the big bad being someone who's like gone and usurped like a bunch of like domains and stuff for himself, and like it's like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, slow down, buddy.
I would look at someone like Thanos or Darkseid as the usurper.
Yeah. Ooh, and instead of rings, it's all spheres that he's taken. Whoa. Or stones, I should say, excuse me. Or gems. If you want to get incredibly accurate about it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the roles in here as much as I
really...
do. Which makes me start to think if that was something that the guy who ran this game, Greg, came up with on his own to make it easier.
What was under the Regency stuff? Was that not? What was that?
It was all about what the king did.
Oh, okay.
Or what the court did. But I mean, like, to me, the roles should be like the court.
Yeah, totally, exactly. Yeah.
This is a lot about NPCs though, where you're like, you go do this.
Yeah, it seems more like it's like everybody's a regent in the way this is.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I want there to be roles.
Lovely artwork.
Yeah, I really like this setting a lot. It's just I don't want to deal with WotC. I want something else.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So okay, apparently we're going to be doing a little bit of that from scratch, kiddies.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go back and well, maybe Rain has something. I'm worrying that everyone's a regent in this one as well.
I know there was definitely one of the Apocalypse games that had roles. But...
Okay, screw this. We're gonna go cut whole cloth for ourselves. So let's just Google what were the primary roles in a kingdom. Ruler, counselor, marshal, general, spy master, treasurer, grand diplomat, high priest, royal enforcer, and warden is what this particular person has listed down, which works for me. So let's kind of think about, and that you should always have more roles than you have players. That's another thing they've always said.
Yeah.
So the liturgist to me would be like the equivalent of the counselor.
Is this on the world anvil, right?
Yeah. I went directly to that.
Between the sensory and I think maybe I kind of also see the high priest in that role a little bit, just with like, or maybe I don't know, maybe not. But I do think counselor is a good fit for it. Yeah. Yeah.
I think of the preserver more like in a warden role.
Yeah, yeah. Is that where personal laws?
Adjusted, of course, just for.
Although,
Well, I mean, no, it shouldn't be because. You know what? We talked about roles shouldn't be built just for themselves. Roles should be. They're more like elected positions, so they should have some ability to shift and move based on who gets them. So, like if the Machina becomes the counselor, it should be more like a religious counselor. Whereas if the Arcanum gets that role, it's more like I control the books and the hidden. I control the lore.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Moonlighter then. Moonlighter, I'm thinking like the Spy Master.
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
Again, which when you start to look at it, you go, okay, well these classes can fit in these different roles kind of in an interesting capacity.
That's really what you want to encourage is, that the, any role can bring a different sort of vibe to.
Would the orator be the diplomat then? I just like that word. So
I mean, yeah, order is good, but I'm wondering if there's.
or even just calling it the word.
Yeah, I mean the word is more Kirby.
Let's go with the word then. Also feels very Dune.
Or would you want to go with like the envoy?
I like envoy a lot. Which one do you think was more Kirby though?
I think either of those work.
I like the envoy.
I mean, if you want to go full Kirby, you can just be the herald, but
So we've got the treasure, the marshal, high priest, and enforcer, royal enforcer. I'll start writing these down.
yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking at as these other roles to fill. I think. Would the marshal maybe the watcher? And the treasurer, the curator?
For the marshal, what about the agent or the advocate? I'm just throwing those out there for like some from like synonyms for it.
My only thing with the advocate is I feel it's a little too soft of a term.
Yeah.
I like it as a just a. Not sure where it would go. What about for the marshal, the dragoon?
Ooh. Looking at the etymology of the marshal, this feels a little Kirby-esque. It's exarch.
Ooh.
EXARCH.
Yeah.
A Borderlands military command.
Matt, down with that one?
I think that works.
It's the Byzantium derivation of marshal, I
I
guess.
like that a lot.
It sounds. I think that's yeah.
Yeah.
General. What's a general's role?
I mean, warlord always comes to mind, but I don't exactly like
Yeah.
that.
Or war master, something like that. That's where the mind goes.
Which does feel very Kirby.
Yeah.
The brigadier?
The standard bearer?
Or even just the standard.
Well,
I kind of like brigadier, though.
let's see here.
Just like in going over like a really vague like description of like general, it says a high military officer in a warlike nation. Warlike kind of stands out a little bit to me almost. The warlike.
Hmm.
That's got an interesting.
Or warborn, maybe.
Ooh, Warborn definitely feels very Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Warborn might be it.
Warforged.
Could I have an E at the end? Can I have an E at the end?
Oh yeah,
You did pee your pants?
and please make it OURNE.
Oh, you got it.
Hoity-toity.
Treasure.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like if you want to go kind of Kirby, you might need to change out some of the vowels or consonants in some of these to, you know.
That's absolutely true.
That's true.
That's more.
By God, it's Warborn. He's here. He's here. Treasure.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I immediately think of keeper.
Minted.
Curator's good. Minted is interesting, but I don't want it to just be like about coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm feeling the curator.
The
I
bursar.
like that.
What'd you say, Matt?
The bursar.
Ooh, purser's really good too.
Well, I said bursar, but purser would also work. Yes.
What's burst? Like bursar?
Bursar is very bursar. Let's see here.
I kind of like bursar. Also, Super Spike Quay Store is very fucking Kirby.
Yes.
I think that's where I think the Kirby in us all has spoken there.
I mean, yeah. You could go with the collector.
I'm trying to stay away from those. It's
I know.
real hard.
Yeah, it is. It's yeah.
It's real hard, guys.
And for High Priest,
Catch
Hierophant.
Oh, Hierophant's one of my favorite words.
Yeah.
Coward. What did I say? What's a coward? A scaredy cat? Ooh. I guess.
Let's see if there's anything else we can.
Yeah.
Right now, Hierophant
Daddy's
is.
afraid. Dad? I have one more page.
No, it's Hierophant's too good. It's just too good. So Royal Enforcer, which immediately makes me think of Space Mutiny.
Yes.
Chad in his seafood armor. I like the Taskmaster, but again, it's too close. Ooh, monocrat's a good word.
The discipline.
I don't dislike it. To you. Overlord might be a good one. Ooh, the Martinet.
Or just the order.
I like the order a lot. What is Martinet?
Oh wait, no. Kirby. Kirby. The rule.
It's to the rule or the Martinet. The Martinet's real good. But I love the rule too. I love that's so ridiculously Kirby. What do you think, Colin? Martinet or rule?
Both are really good.
I know. Ask your son. Maybe he has a feeling. One of those
Aw.
words he likes better.
Killian, the rule or martinet?
Which
Which
sounds
sounds
cooler?
better?
What?
Say what sounds cooler, the rule or martinet?
Marnet.
Martinet.
There we go.
From the mouth of babes.
Yeah, exactly. From the mouth of babes, we have our answer. All right. I think we brainstormed for an hour and a half. We're
Doing all right.
doing pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been
a good chunk of stuff.
A lot of world building business going on today. I'm digging this. What do you guys think? Is this worth pursuing?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm into it. Give me that Kirby.
this is sounding really cool.
My veins.
It's gonna be a little bit more work. It does really want me on the move, and I'm like, yeah, it's there's a lot going on here. There's gonna be a little bit more work than I thought, but I think it's gonna be worthwhile work. And since we have hard times where we need it to be, we just need someone to go about doing some editing on it and some, putting it in the proper.
Or that
Hello, little guy.
how that it works.
Come say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Killian.
Get your face in a little more. There we are. There you are.
Hi.
Hi.
Everyone's saying hi to you.
And then who's the guy with all the lot of stuff?
That's Matt. He's got a lot of cool action.
I do have a lot of stuff.
I got lots of cool stuff
That's a
too.
lot.
Yeah,
That
they've
is
got stuff just like Dad's got stuff over there. They've got stuff. Too.
There's just stuff. Lots of stuff.
Dad.
Yeah.
I have a favor.
Okay, hold on. This could be not PG. So let me see what the favor is.
Here. Super Spike, howdy, little dude. So yeah, I think we got a good start to something there.
Absolutely.
It could be really interesting. Like I said, I think we're gonna have to do a little bit more work, but it could be very worthwhile and very fun. So as always, thank you to the chat, Super Spike, Shaggy, Mitch Falcon, other people who popped in and out. Thank you to Killian, Killian, the great decider. Colin, as always, super happy you were able to jump on. Matt, hey man, we just keep on rolling along.
I shall.
Tomorrow night. Actually, where can people find you guys? Before I jump into my spiel.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead, Colin.
You can find me hanging around and haunting around on this channel with these guys. See me on the Spoopy Boys stuff. This Friday, upcoming, we've got a Tales from the Loop game coming up. If you were watching our last one, which went insane with time travel, this is going to be the culmination of all that. Also,
the umbrella, right? They had a time traveling umbrella.
Time traveling umbrella, time traveling library bus, bookmobile. Also, this is going to be the culmination of my obsession with trying to shoehorn Peter Weller as the main villain into my game, and I'm dead set on it.
If I remember correctly, when I played, Peter Weller went home with me to be my adoptive parent.
Yeah, he was hanging around the town. All sorts of stuff. It's grown. It's gotten the last game actually, James's character killed one of my Peter Wellers. Just shot him dead. But I've got more.
I shot at Peter Weller in Reno just to watch him die.
Have you seen that episode of Cabin of Curiosities?
It's the library bus.
Yes.
I have not yet.
Oh, it's so good.
He's excellent.
Oh, it's wonderful.
The Tang-powered umbrella. Yes, Spike. Yes.
You gotta watch that one, man.
I just need to finish it. I've been really bad about finishing things.
That's fair. Whatever. Life is life.
Yeah, my attention span's been poor.
So that's what I got coming up for.
That's Friday. Are you doing it live Friday?
I think we are. As far as I know, yeah, we're doing it Friday live. Yeah.
Would have been nice to know. Thank you for letting me know. There will be no bad at games this Friday.
Yeah, I know. I thought. Yeah, I was like, how is that going to work? But yeah, we'll see. I'll look. I'm pretty sure we set it up for Friday.
Well, you should do it Friday live, and that way I don't have to do bad games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll do that.
It's a win-win. Yeah.
Win-win. Everybody wins.
Everybody.
Everybody's a wiener.
Um,
And then Spoopy Boys. When is Spoopy Boys? And what are we doing?
Well, I think we're still on for discussing Hammer.
Amicus and Charlemagne.
Yeah. And whenever you want to get that going.
Oh, come on, man. You got to have it. We had a date.
Let's
Now I
see.
have to look it up.
Yeah. The only thing that won't work for me is going to
26th.
be.
It's the
Okay.
26th.
That would work for me. Perfect.
It's
Awesome.
always going to be one of the last Thursdays of the month.
Okay. Good.
Spoopy Boys is January 26th. It's going to be Amicus, Charlemagne, which only had one flick, and it's actually very, very good. I enjoyed it very much. And, of course, Hammer.
Hammer.
I'm
The
super excited to
bloody
talk
house of
Hammer.
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
Or don't hurt him.
Matt, where can they find you? Where you be? Where you at? Who you be with?
What's so funny,
You can
Dad?
find me on the Dave Wonder channel
That's
and
very funny.
on the Heel Turn
What
channel
is
every Tuesday for Tiny Make Tuesdays. You can find me here pretty much every Sunday. I pop in
Only
places
31 seconds.
and my energy
What
allows.
was it?
So, I'm on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff.
What are you working on, Matt? I saw your hands moving around a bunch.
Oh, I just been messing with some Transformers. If
Oh.
Mitch was here, he'd put it all in the chat. But the people who are watching know where to find me. I'm around. I don't do anything terribly interesting on any of the social medias at this point anyway. So,
But Matt's always right here. He's in your heart,
like Gumby
like Gumby.
and arterial plaque. Yeah.
You can find me here tomorrow night on this very channel for Down Outlands. And then not this coming Friday. And then you can find me here next Sunday, where I think we'll just keep working on our game that's been production title is Kirby. We could call it like Blue. Was it Blue Heaven? Yeah, Tiny Minging with arterial plaque. I'm not booked this week, so I won't be on Tuesday.
I don't know if Dave, I assume, has a guest, but maybe not. Who knows?
So
I
yeah,
just-
it's gonna be an easy week for me. I just have this tomorrow night's Dungeons and Dragons game. Although I think Chaos Scar is creeping up on us too. It might be not this Monday, but next Monday. Now I need to check my calendar. Chaos Scar is a week from tomorrow.
Okay.
So I gotta get on my get my booty in gear, and maybe next weekend, if you guys are, I don't know what your schedule's like, Colin, but maybe next weekend we give Kirby a break and we do Chaos Scar planning, because I need to make a dungeon
Oh,
Sure.
for a hobgoblin princess who is actually a vampire.
What you
So.
those hobgoblins?
So I need some help thinking of some real horrible things to put that particular crew through, since they were like, "Hey, we just want to keep playing. We don't want to go home yet." And yes, under a Waffle House would be amazing.
The old
So yeah,
house.
so like next Sunday we'll do Chaos Scar prep,
Yeah.
which should be pretty good.
Yeah. I should be open to join. Yeah.
The invitation is always open.
Excellent.
Thank you all for tuning in, and then tuning in at a later date if you do on YouTube, for following and jumping into these many myriad of weird things we're doing, and being a part of them. So until
Hell yeah.
your next viewing experience, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Bye.